Psylocke is an extremely popular X-Men character, but not a lot of people know her origins because it's pretty complicated. Her first appearance actually goes all the way back to 1976 in a Captain Britain issue, because she's known as Betsy Braddock, the sister to Captain Britain. You can already tell off rip, this is very different from the Psylocke you probably know today, so let me explain. After her introduction, we do see her gain these telepathic powers, and eventually her story continues to change. She ends up becoming a model, changing her hair color to the purple, and eventually she becomes popular enough to where she becomes Captain Britain for a little bit. But she ends up in a fight against someone known as Slaymaster, who ends up gouging her eyes out. But it gets worse for her. She ends up getting captured by Mojo, who ends up completely brainwashing her, giving her robotic eyes and giving her the iconic name of Psylocke. And eventually she does get rescued by the X-Men and her brother and is left at the mansion to learn her new powers and abilities. Now this is where it starts to get a little bit weird. We end up finding Psylocke unconscious in Japan, and she gets found by the Hand. And the leader basically wanted to swap her mind with his lover's, Kwannon, in hopes to save his lover's life. But the way it went was we basically had two Betsys with similar memories kind of fused together just in two bodies. And for a while we had two Psylocks, which made things very confusing. They both had the same memories and a connection to one another, but technically they were flipped, but it was Betsy and Kwannon. Super weird. And since it got really confusing with two Psylocks, Marvel decided to get rid of one of them. The one that was like the Betsy body slash mainly Kwannon mind. She basically sacrificed herself, taking down her lover, who basically started this whole thing with the initial mind swap. And because of that, the full memory and powers and everything went into the Psylocke we know and love today. As you can tell, Psylocke has had a very complicated history, but now she's an extremely beloved character. You see her in Marvel Rivals, we've had a live action version of her with Olivia Munn, and she continues to grow in popularity every single day.